What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you, well, with a little market watch today. Oh, right. Not yet. Listen, TCG Player is broken. It's been broken for a while, and it's annoying. And when I mean TCG Player, I might actually mean just eBay. I don't know yet. You let me know. I know eBay's buying TCG Player, and everyone's asking me what's my opinions on it. To be honest with you, I'll be straight up with you. I think it only gets crappier. And here's why, though. You see, with TCG Player, one thing that we can all agree on is they have amazing, and I'm absolutely stellar, customer service. As both a buyer and a seller, talking to customer service from time to time actually makes life so much easier. And actually, you're talking to a real person makes it even more easier because you can actually go through and explain your grievances. eBay customer service is nowhere near as good as TCG Players. It's just a fact. And I think that's the only thing we actually lose with the transition of eBay buying TCG Player. Now, are there bonuses and benefits? Probably. We don't know what they are yet, but I know the downside is automated customer services are absolutely atrocious. This is one thing Amazon kind of goes with, but then once you get to a regular person, they literally break their neck trying to do whatever they can to please you. Whereas eBay, it's a little bit weird. Depending if you're a seller or a buyer, they'll treat you good. By the way, if you're a seller, they're going to dunk on you. But once again, with TCG Player, it's been really good both ways, so hopefully that does get fixed. If it was to be an issue. I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying that's my experiences with eBay. That's why I don't sell on eBay. I don't look at eBay for Yu-Gi-Oh! I just don't. It just doesn't even serve any purpose for me. As somebody who likes to talk about card prices. But going back to TCG Player itself right now does have an issue. The biggest issue is this. So, why? Like, no, dead serious. Like, why? If you're going to have a filter over here and the filter says English over here, I'm not sure if you can see my mouse. I don't think you can, but on the left side says apply filters. And it says English over here. Why is that English, but you have stupid Korean cards on here from brain dead sellers? Like, honest truth. And I don't mean to insult these sellers. They're probably trying to make a couple of dollars by selling fake versions of actual Yu-Gi-Oh cards that see play here in the TCG, because these are nothing more than Orikas, than tokens. And this annoys someone like me because I literally want to look for the real Yu-Gi-Oh prices, and then I see something like Sky Striker, Ace Kagari, Korean, but that's not English. So are we going to really apply the filters, or are we going to allow this crap to go on? Once again, this is a small thing probably. It's something that's been building up for a while with me, and it really annoys the crap out of me because when I look at Yu-Gi-Oh card prices, I want to see card prices for Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I can actually use, not something that's available only in the OCG. By the way, a little fun fact, if you are looking to buy Korean Super Rare versions of Sky Striker Ace Kagari, just know when you go to the official tournament store to play these cards, you give them, well, nothing. You don't get anything. You can't use this card. It's illegal. And if you play any competitive Yu-Gi-Oh event, you will be getting a game lost and be forced to change your cards. So, yeah, these cards are useless. These cards are honestly, like, they're about as useful as a used condom. They do nothing. Get rid of these cards. Like, or at least when I apply filters say English, I'm not looking at Korean cards. At the very least. I don't know. It's something small to talk about, but I really want to emphasize that point. TCG Player probably doesn't watch these videos. Who knows? But that's a really annoying thing. It's been going on for a while. It's been only getting more. It's only been, like, it used to be like 1 or 2 idiots. Now it's more. All right. Let's talk about Tactical Masters. More importantly, let's talk about Collector's Rares. You see, Collector's Rares are doing something really weird, and nobody's catching it. I have not seen not one person on the entire internet talk about this. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down Tactical Masters and both Collector's Rares, because it's very important for you. Even if you don't own not one Collector's Rare, even if you don't want to even buy a Tactical Masters, I don't blame you, by the way, I want to go ahead and break down why these matter a lot. Before I do, though, let's give a quick overview on Tactical Masters. These reprints aren't as good. Let me explain. Drone Lockbird is Ultimate Rare reprint, so the CR is less than the Ultimate Rare. That's just how it works. I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. Sorry, Drone Lockbird. You're the most expensive card out of Tactical Masters, but there's a better version of you out there and available. That's kind of upsetting. Now, Trap Trick's a pretty good card, and yeah, it's starting to see play in a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players' side decks, but a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are not looking to buy a CR version of Trap Trick. I mean, maybe, but at the market price of $150, not really. Labyrinth. Great name, Konami. I know they did the 2 spells. Okay, anyway. Listen, I like Labyrinth a lot. I think the artwork on Labyrinth look absolutely amazing. I'm dead serious by the way. They all look So cool. One day I achieved to be rich enough to buy a CR version of the Labyrinth core, put it in the sleeves, throw in a deck box, throw it inside of my collection, but it doesn't do nothing. And the fact that you made, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Was there a fifth card? Was there a fifth one? No, just 4. Okay. You made 4 cards that are CR Labyrinth cards. Just shows that you're placating to a community of high-end Yu-Gi-Oh players. And they exist, but man, Konami, like, chill with that. Alright. Custom Cycle has ultimate rare, CRs mean nothing. Runics. These should have been your CRs, I'll be honest with you. This is probably the only thing that's kind of meta relevant. And Yu-Gi-Oh players might not play this out the gate because it's a little bit too expensive. Scapegoat is a CR, well, it has an ultimate rare, so once again, that's useless. Anti-spell is a CR. Okay, hold on. This actually doesn't matter. Anti-spell is a blowout card, and as a CR, to be honest with you, this is now the highest rarity version of Anti-spell Fragrance. 1 out of 5 or 50. I don't know. I lost count. It's been ridiculous. But yeah, I agree with this. Once again, this is a great call, Konami. Anti-spell Fragrance getting a CR makes perfect sense because, well, let's be honest with you, other Floodgates getting CR is actually kind of cool because Yu-Gi-Oh players that want to flex using Floodgates can flex even more now. Actually kind of cool. Some Valence. I know you had to do some Valence cards. You put 2 in there. No big deal. I totally get it. And then we have Astrograph Sorcerer as a CR. Okay. Yeah. It probably looks good as a CR, I'll be honest with you. Other than that, though, looking at Tactical Masters for itself, I think Runics are the best thing in Tactical Masters. Runics right now, excuse me, Runics right now are not really being looked at because the price in the pre-sale was so insanely high, nobody wanted Runics. Like, the pre-sale price, I believe, for Fountain was like 35. We'll still show the pre-sale price. Those are so ridiculous. Look, those in the 40s. Like, why are you kidding me? 45. I apologize for the ultra rare version of Runic Fountain. Runic Temple, another card, which once again the card you need as a 3 of. This pre-sale price was at the $40 price point, and now the price was obviously going down in value. Is Runic going to see play? Possibly, but not as rampantly because nobody really wants to buy into Tactical Masters. The only people buying Tactical Masters is those who want Runics and vendors who want to crack the set open and throw singles on the market. Now, that is a problem. But here's where I'm going to take it and throw it 180 degrees on you. Or 360. I'm really bad at that. Or 90 degrees. Whatever. Listen. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to catch you off guard. Because CRs have good value. I said it. It's true. It's true. But CRs are kind of like any other card in a Yu-Gi-Oh set where you have to buy the exact cards in order to get the real value. Other cards will fail. They will be worthless. Nobody will want them, and the prices will tank for CRs. Some CRs, though, will have crazy good value. Now, we're going to go backwards because I want to look over here at Grand Creators. Now, Grand Creators CRs are kind of all over the place. But No Punk Fox Student CR was nowhere near as high as it currently was when it first debuted. In fact, the Warrior Enchantress package, the Adventure package, was the high package. Cards like Exorcism Mikalis CR, well, that card was dirt cheap and actually recently risen and now it's kind of coming down in value. Other cards like Italy CR actually went up in value because the ultimate rares are so insanely high. The other best option was a CR version of Italy. It looks really nice. Other cards like Torrential Tribute being 60, that card's going to slowly increase in value as it is the highest rarity version of Torrential Tribute. Other cards like Solemn Strike CR, that actually would not be as high, and the reason why it's kind of calmed down stabilizing, because there's an ultimate rare out, and this is, once again, if there's an ultimate rare out, it normally 99.9999% chance beats the CR. It's just how it works. I don't make the rules, I'm just explaining them to you. Looking at other cards, though, as far as CR, there are other good ones, like Faithful Adventure being $34. It used to be around $45 to $65 at most crazy high price points. But look at the rest of the CRs, they're not bad. And some of these will actually increase in value. We just talked about cards like Torture Tribute, which will increase in value. But not all these will increase. So when you're looking to buy CRs, you're saying, V, I want to go in, I want to make money on CRs, and I'm looking to wait. Cards like Torture Tribute are one of the best cards to buy. If you're saying, V, I'm buying Solemn Strike CR because it will have good value, it might go up in time. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. But if you really want value, you got to buy the Ultimate Rare. Even though Ultimate Rare is made of flimsy cardboard, if you ever owned one, I had them in the past. That cardboard is so flimsy. All right. So why is CRs important? Because other CRs, in fact, the most expensive CR is Cyframe Gear Gamma, and Yu-Gi-Oh players remember Toon Chaos. Toon Chaos was such a good CR set because it had meta-relevant cards like Gamma, like Chaos Space, other cards that were consideration at the time like a CR Pot of Extravagance, and of course collectible cards like Blacklist Soldier and Stardust Dragon and Ksm Bird Dragon. Some of these cards also saw play in gold format. Alright. So why is Toon Chaos such a good set? Well, here's what Konami didn't do with Toon Chaos, or didn't do with Toon Chaos like it did with other sets. With other sets, they gave you a CR, but there's a higher rarity version. The highest rated version of Gamma is CR. Starlight Striking does have a Ghost Rare, but they're so insanely high, as well as the Ultimate Rare, that the CR is actually is at a decent price, let's be honest. Blacklisted Soldier Envoy at the beginning, CR technically is the highest rarity, unless you want to compare it to IOC or the Dark Beginning ones. That's a whole different story. Alright, Ksm Bird Dragon Envoy at the end has an Ultimate Rare, and the CR is less than Ultimate Rare, but still pretty up there. Pot of Desires does have an Ultimate Rare, that's why it's $74, and Extravagance is actually more than Desires, like I said back when this first came out, and the reason why is simple, because Pot of Extravagance only has a Prismatic Secret Rare and a Secret Rare. It has lower rarities as well, but this is basically the highest rarity version of Pot of Extravagance. So once again, why was this a good set? Because Konami, it's simple. Majority of these cards didn't have a highest rarity, or the highest rarity was so high, this was a great secondary rarity. And when I mean high, I mean Ghost Rare Starlight Dragon is like in the thousands. So if you own a CR version, you're happy with that. And I think this is something that Konami kind of forgot about. Let me explain you again. Once again, Genesis Impact. Well, we got Phoenix and Unicorn, and these are the highest rarity versions. But Konami, at this point with Genesis Impact, said, screw it, let's put meta relevant things in. And obviously, live tunes at the time weren't. Now they've raised up in value. Cards like Artemis raised up in value. And other cards like Drytron, Mirage Drytron, raised up in value on debut because Drytrons were, at the time when this first release, was the best deck core. But why did Evil Twins raise up? Is it really because Evil Twins were really highly wanted and sorted out? No. These are the highest versions of Evil Twins, rarity-wise. And because of that, Evil Twins eventually got slowly bought out. And as they slowly got bought out, well, they're at the crazy high price points you're looking at right now. Now, a little fun fact, they are used somewhat in sprites. Are they the best sprite deck around? It's hard to say. But even if they weren't the best sprite deck around, even if you went back in time a month ago, 2 months ago, these were still insanely high price points for the Evil Twins / Live Twins. And the reason why is very simple. It's because these are the highest rarity versions. Then we have Ancient Guardians. Well, once again, it's Exocells. Is Soulful Cord and Ogdatic the reason why their set's good? No, look at this. Aaron, the Ogdatic King, $17. Usar, the Grand Chariot, $16. Like, these cards are trash value. But what is the highest value? Those cards that are only high rarity in this version, or so the difference of the high rarity between this version are so different. Look. Dynamaster Pengatops being one of the most expensive cards in Ancient Guardians. Next to it is Trade-In, another great card. Next to it is Skull Mice. Now, Skull Mice has a secret rare, but it's obviously CR beats secret rare. It's not, and once again, once you understand this, it's not that hard to get. It's really simple. Let's go one more set. The only set. So King's Court obviously had the Secret Rare Pharaoh's Rare. I thought this was a smart cash grab by Konami. These aren't my slice of life kind of cards, but I do like these cards. I wouldn't pay this amount of money, but I understand if someone said, hey V, I bought one of each of these. I go, hey man, I got it. 100%. With that said, once again, there's the same thing with Anti-Spell. There's Rivalry of Warlords right over here, Rivalry of Warlords. See what they did there? They did the same exact thing. Lightning Storm took the price point of the Secret Rare version. But the Starlight Rare Lightning Storm still blows us out the water. It's like $300, $400 for a copy. But the CR beat over the Secret Rare. Cool. If it was Ultimate Rare Lightning Storm, this CR would be way less. A little fun fact, by the way. I think we can agree on that by this point. I think Reinforcement Army is highly on the value. The card currently is roughly around $96 in the market price. I think this will be one of the most expensive cards in King's Court. Even though it's a solo print, it's because almost every meta deck, within Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta's history, at least one of those decks were warriors that use Reinforcement of Army. Number one. Number two, it's used in alternative Yu-Gi-Oh! Formats as a one-of, and Skystriker players. You just need one. Listen, I think Royal is a great card. I think it's probably going to be one of the most expensive cards in King's Court in time. Of course, I do think these Pharaoh's Rare might actually have crazy value. We have to see, though. It's 50-50. All right. Rescue Rabbits, CR price, just kill the price point of Secret Rescue Rabbit. Okay, here's why I'm going over all these card prices. Let me explain something to you. Why am I going over all these card prices for CRs? Because with CRs, it's like anything in Yu-Gi-Oh!, there are sets that have really good rarities, really good cards. Cards I think are great to buy, and cards that if you went to me and said, V, I bought this, I'm going to look at you and say you are wrong. And here's why, though. I think CRs are great selectively. Anyone buying all the CRs is doing it wrong. If you said, V, I bought a playset of Utopic Draco Future CR, you are wrong. That's not the card to buy. Rivalry of Warlords, Reinforcing the Army, those are excellent cards. I could go in any CR set. Let me go to even the newest one and say Anti-Spell Fragrance CR is a great CR to buy. Cosmic Cyclone CR is a terrible CR to buy because it has an ultimate rare. So we know what's going to happen. We know the future of this card's price point. It would be silver medal, second place, compared to its ultimate rare counterpart. It might be even right now because the market's relatively new on these cards, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's good or bad. It just means this is second place. Now, there's not a bad thing with second place, by the way. We talked about that with Stardust Dragon. Once again, second place, silver medal. Technically third place if you want to get the ultimate rare, which I do count. But what's happening here? Well, it's simple. These cards are just decent enough. Some of them are the one, some of them are second place, and the kid Stardust Dragon is third place. But you know what? You want to see our Stardust Dragon? I don't own one, but if you own one, hey, that's fine. That's a damn good card. But that's the kind of the point I'm making with CRs. There are great ones, there are mid ones, and there are ones that if you bought, I'm going to make fun of you. I'm going to laugh at you. And not only I am, the market will back me up on. I will say, though, if you own CR, Evil Twins, Alive Twins, or like the whole core, I don't own that yet. But god damn, that's a look. I've seen it with my own eyes. That's a beautiful core max rarity. All right. So now we've beaten that with a hammer. Let's talk about Max C. And why is Max C not CR? Everyone knows I'm a huge fan of Max C. I think this is a great card. I think as a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player, Max C is one of the best cards in the competitive Yu-Gi-Oh game that doesn't exist. I'm not going to give you my whole diatribe why this card should come off the ban list at 3, even though it should. All I'm going to say is if Max C was to come off the ban list, whatever deck you're playing, you're probably going to be complaining about. And if you're not complaining about whatever deck you're playing, it's because you're playing Mystic Mind Burn. And Mystic Mind should be banned, by the way. Alright, if I had it my way with the ban list. But one thing I want to say with Max C is, as someone who's a huge advocate and fan of Max C, in order for this card to even kind of, sort of, possibly make its debut on the Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know, my voice is scratched. On the Yu-Gi-Oh! Scene, it has to have a reprint. The last printing of Max C came out in Structure Deck Machine Reactor. That's the last time. That is forever ago was the last printing. Me, myself, as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player who loves Max C and also plays for the ultis, I don't think it would be smart or right of Konami was to release it off the ban list without an upcoming reprint of Max C. And it's very simple to see that. I didn't mean that on purpose. But it's very simple to understand the fact that Max C coming off the ban list would mean either an impending reprint of Max C. So I think it's really important to, one, gauge the meta by looking at upcoming sets, but gauge the meta by looking at upcoming sets by their reprints. We saw what happened with Super Rejuvenation, Solemn Judgment. Like, these cards had reprints, and then they came off the ban list. Or reprints were announced of these cards, and then they came off the ban list. And looking at Max C, I think it's kind of the same situation where we need a reprint to come out for it to come off the ban list. And yeah, that's all I want to say about that. Another thing I want to say also, if you have a CR Max C, it might beat the Secret version, but the Ultimate Max C is still going to be the best version. The only way the Ultimate Rare can be even challenged if there's a Starlight Rare version of Max C. And I'll be honest with you, Starlight Max C might be a lot of money on the first week of release, but it will quickly go down because there's only 16 listings. Once again, listings do matter within price points. That's for a whole different video, though. All right. Time to talk about Power of the Elements. Even though it's 18 minutes into the video, and I really just hammered home CRs and how I feel about them. I love CRs, by the way. I just like the correct ones. Listen, Power of the Elements is a phenomenal set. I think we're going to agree. It literally changed the meta within one set. And people probably kind of forgot about that right now, but that's exactly what it did. It changed the entire landscape of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta within one set. Props to that. I actually love when that happens. Kind of catches a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players off guard. And if you were preparing for it, you still didn't know the gravity of how good this set could be. Some have been flops. So, you know, once again, great job with releasing Power of the Elements. It's a great set. Looking at Power of the Elements, looking at this card in particular, it's currently $95. Now, it was around $100 for Primeval Planet Paralino, so it is going down in value, but not fast enough for my liking. Once again, I'm a big fan of fusions. I am team fusions all the way. But this card's way too overpriced. I do not recommend nobody buying this card. This card's a good card to buy around the $70 to $80 range. And if you don't think this card's going to $70 to $80, you have not been paying attention. This card will hit $70 to $80, and that's the range we buy this card. That's the range we consider this card at. You're buying this card at $95, you're still overpaying. It's up to you if you want to overpay or not. It's up to you. Some people do, some people don't. I get it, by the way. I understand it completely. Do we buy Ultimate Slayer? It's a great question. Ultimate Slayer pretty much tanked in value. It first initially debuted roughly around $60, and the current price point of the card has it at $48. Is it worth it? Seriously, is it like good? Is it bad? Me personally, Ultimate Slayer at best right now is a side deck tech. I do think Ultimate Slayer gets better when we have better cards that allow us to draw into more cards. Like, I don't know, Max C. But Ultimate Slayer right now is nowhere near as good as Dark Ruler No More. Now, if Konami was to hit Dark Ruler No More, they would take a hammer and break the knees of Dark Ruler No More and say, Dark Ruler No More banned, then Ultimate Slayer is the best secondary option. Konami messed up. They should have given us Ultimate Slayer first, and then release Dark Ruler No More in Pirate Elements, because that would have forced us all to buy. You would have had to buy, 100%. All right. With that said, by the way, that would have been horrible. With that said, Ultimate Slayer is still an amazing card. And I do think Ultimate Slayer, in my opinion, is a card that you should be picking up. In fact, I just bought one. I bought one recently. I need to buy two eventually, but the price point has been going down. It doesn't merit buying more into it, but I wanted to buy one because I wanted to own one. Now, yes, you could say, V, did you buy your Starlight Rare Ultimate Slayers? No. No, 100% not. I mean, the card's roughly around $375. That's insanely overpriced. I get why it's overpriced, and I do think it will go up in value in time. I will do another market watch talking about Starlight Rares if you want me to recap about Starlight Rares. Not only recap, but give you the updated version of what's going on with Starlight Rares. A lot of cool things happening with them. But my thoughts on Starlight Rares are relatively simple. If it's the Starlight Rares for the extra deck, that card will go up in value. If the Starlight Rare goes on the main deck, it probably won't unless the card's insanely broken. Give you a great example. Triple Tactics Talents went from $400 to 700 pesos. Why? Well, the card has at the time, 3 banned cards built into it. Now it's 2. But the card's really amazing. And obviously being a Starlight Rare version of the card, Yu-Gi-Oh players have taken notice. They want the best version of the card. Another example, Pot of Prosperity. I never liked the card when it first debuted, but one thing that is a fact, the Starlight Rare spiked in value. Why? Because the card is insanely broken. Now, is Ultimate Slayer at the same power level of Talents and Prosperity? I don't know. I'll be honest, I have zero idea. I don't think it is. I don't think it is, but time will tell if it is or it isn't. And if it is, and listen, if time says, hey, Starlight Rare Ultimate Slayer deserves to be higher than what it is, sure. I'm not going to argue with that. Makes sense to me. If it goes down, makes sense to me. The number one important thing, though, is extra deck cards in any set that's released. Like, let's say Powder Elements. And then you got extra stuff is DPE, one of those cards. Yeah, but it's heroes. Like, it's not, no one's playing meta DPEs, especially with Everta Anaconda being hit. It's heroes. Hero plays is the reason why. All right. Let's keep going. This video's going too long. Garuda! Wings of Resonant Life. This card right now used to be roughly around like $7. You just needed to buy one. Now it's $14. The card's insane. Still poly target. Okay. Kurikira Divine Incarnate. Is this card good, V? V, is this card even decent? Herder, V. Fucking watch your Herders with me. Listen, Kurikira Divine Card is a phenomenal card. I like it. For the artwork. It's a great art. The card has amazing artwork. Like I want a regional playmat with this card. I gotta enter regionals. It's okay. I have sprites. It's everyone's to buy. But Kurikira Divine Card is a phenomenal card. And I do think this card can actually see play in the future of the game Yu-Gi-Oh! This game, in this universe, in this existence, this card is good. Is it good right now? Hell no. This card is trash. But I do think it's going to be good as time goes on. In fact, I'm thinking it's going to be so good that it's worth $10. Is it worth Starlight Rare? How much is Starlight Rare? 157? Ooh, is it worth 157? That's hard. That's a hard choice. It's in that weird like price range where it's like too expensive, not so expensive, and like that little gray area. That's where it hangs in. It hangs where like you go, I ain't dropping 150 on this card, but it hangs in that like 150 ain't too bad. Actually, no, it's even more. Look at that, 175. No, it's not worth it. 150. We'll start talking. All right. Anyway. Beyond the Pendulum's a card you might want to start picking up soon. How many do you need? I don't know, but you definitely need to pick this card up because Pendulums obviously are going to be good. Look at the OCG, a couple of them top, doing not bad. And I do think here in the TCG, Pendulums actually might be a force to be reckoned with. Is that the saying? Nevertheless, Beyond the Pendulum's a phenomenal card. And yeah, I own 2. That's it. I don't think you don't need to get 3. You don't need to get 3. Just make this into a Starlight Rare Konami. All right. Small World at Burst in Destiny might be getting a reprint in the Megatins. If it does not get a reprint in the Megatins, expect this card to hit like 60, 70, 80. Then it's gonna hit what I call the people bitching about this card need to be banned and or probably need a reprint price point. Like anything past 80, you just hear people like complaining like it should be banned and it needs to get a reprint. That's that area. When the second it passes $80. Small World's a phenomenal card. I do think Small World definitely does need a reprint. Gee, where's the Korean version? Hurry, English filters. But the card right now is roughly around $27. I do think this card is a great card to get and hold. Honestly, it's a reprint. It's a horrible choice. All right. We need a new OTS pack, Konami. And don't do what the hell you just did with OTS 19 by grabbing a shovel and just throwing it at OTS stores, because OTS stores cracked this pack and threw it on the market. And if you think they're not going to do that with OTS 20, Konami, you're a little bit naive. Like, don't do that, because you get OTS stores literally crack the crap out of this pack, and their sets dropped almost immediately, which is great for people like me and the OTS stores that made money. Or no, not OTS stores, shady businesses. But what it isn't good for is your secondary market. Unless you don't care about that, then hey, keep doing it. I don't care. I don't mind a $35 falling at Albaster Warrior Champion. $50 skill drain, you got it. Like, all right, this is fine. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, that's the reason why your prices have tanked, because OTS stores have illegally opened the packs. And no, we should rat them out. Herder. No, you shouldn't. It's ridiculous. Let them make their money. Like, it's not their fault that Konami just did a really dumb move. Hey, you want to get some field centers? What field centers do you own? If it's a crappy Konami cardboard field center, just know, everyone, you leave the house in the morning, your mom's like, look at this fucking cardboard field center having, like, everyone is gonna laugh at you. But with my field centers, they don't laugh at you. Girls go to you. It's mathematically proven. I'm married with like a bunch of kids, dude. Girls go to you, okay? And you're gonna have children. You're gonna procreate if you buy my field centers. Probably. Maybe. Sorta. I don't know. Probably not. Who knows? Hopefully. Alright. So, I have a bunch of field centers. Obviously, you want to go to YGOPaisano.com. Check them out. It's pretty good field centers. I also have tokens. Amazing tokens. Check them out. It's pretty good. Listen, I think there's a lot of cool things on this website that you might want to pick up and check out. Once again, it's YGOPaisano.com. Anything over $25, get shit with tracking. Anything less, well, it costs $3, but everything still gets shit with tracking no matter what. Free shipping over $25, though. So, cool website, cool stuff, cool cards V, and yeah, check it out. All right, Paisano. So, once again, like I said, I don't know what's going on with eBay. They're going to do whatever they want to do at the end of the day. I hope they make it better. I hope they do it right. But at the end of the day, who knows? You know, let's be honest. As far as TCG player and as far as CRs particularly, though, I do like CRs. Even though I did bash the crap out of them in this video, there are ones that I own, like Dynamaster Prankatops. And there's ones that I think are good to get, like Anti-Spell Fragrance CR. Like, there are great ones out there. But, of course, there are bad ones out there. Anything deck core-wise, unless it's meta-relevant, doesn't really do anything. But I do say not meta-relevant, doesn't do anything. And then you gotta look at, like, Live Twins, and you're like, V, what the fuck? And you're right. But that's waifu tax. That's different. As far as Runics, they might actually do something. And the CR version of Runics eventually might sell down to a price point where the CR Runic Tip and Runic Fountain actually makes sense to buy. Does it make sense to buy right now? No, of course not. The value is still high, but they will be coming down. Anyway, Paisanos, that's the market watch. I really appreciate you guys watching. It's your boy V. You Paisanos. You Paisanos have a great day. See you around, peasants.